Welcome back to the best division in football. Authentic in the beard. Studio. What's up, team? Thanks for tuning in to our Thursday preview. We got 4 NFC East games to talk about coming up this weekend, as well as the Thursday night game tonight. We're going to touch on that. Raiders, Chargers, I believe. Let's bring in the fellas. Authentic. Tough day for your Giants. You guys didn't play today. We heard about some injuries, though. Not what you really want this time of the year. We're in the nitty-gritty part. How you feeling today, bud?
Yeah, man. I mean, the reports coming out this morning is pretty incredible, man. If you didn't hear, Jason Garrett came down with COVID. They said that James Bradberry is a person who was close contact with COVID. So we're not going to see James Bradberry in this game. In a game where we're already doubting that Daniel Jones is going to be able to play. Man, it's a do-or-die game. It's a must-win game, and injuries and this COVID report are definitely going to be hampering the New York Giants moving forward. I know a lot of Giants fans are probably thinking the season is lost today with the information that came out, but I would just say, man, have faith, man. Believe in this squad, man. You never know what can happen. We went into the game against Seattle, and we shocked them, and we surprised them, so ain't no telling what could happen. I got a lot of faith in Patrick Graham to be able to make some moves and be able to keep us in this game, but it's definitely going to be an interesting week of football, I will say.
I mean, you always say never say never. So, I mean, there's a chance. As long as you guys are taking the field with 11 guys on offense and defense, you got a shot at winning it.
Facts.
The beard, man. Huge year for your Irish. I see you rocking the jersey. Who are they playing this Saturday?
So this Saturday is the ACC championship game. So it's the rematch of Notre Dame versus Clemson. This time, Clemson has Trevor Lawrence. So I wore this the Thursday last time we played Clemson, so I was like, I have to wear it again this Thursday when we play Clemson. So
you don't feel as good as this time as you did last time though with the Lawrence playing?
Oh nah, you know me, I feel good. Okay. This is an Irish team that is, one for the ages. Ian Book, we're gonna get into this whole, draft situation once the season's over, but I think Ian Book is going to surprise a lot of people, and he might turn out to be a pretty good NFL quarterback. So we'll wait and see. But I'm really high on this team. I'm excited for that game. And we got NFL on Saturday, and then the big games on Sunday, man.
Wait,
Sunday
NFL on Saturday? We got a Saturday game?
We got two Saturday games this week.
Awesome. I didn't know that. Who's playing?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I got you.
It's I think Buffalo's one of them, and I think Carolina's another team.
Bills Broncos at 4:30. That's at Denver, and then Panthers Packers at 8:15, and that's in Green Bay.
All right, sweet. I'm excited now. Football both days, 3 days in a row, really. Monday.
Yeah, it's fire, especially with the game tonight, man. Tonight looks like a pretty decent game too with the Raiders and the Chargers. I'm looking forward to it.
So football 4 out of 5 days. If you want to look at it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, love it.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Love it, love it, love it. Let me say some quick hellos to the folks in the chat. Thank you to everybody that is watching us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, all of the above. And if you are watching us on Facebook, don't forget the link is in the description of the Facebook post. You could come over to YouTube and jump in the chat and chop it up with Awthentik the Beard and Scotty Boomz.
And the chat. The chat's always popping.
Yeah, the chat's always lit
popping,
here.
yeah.
So shout out to Daddy Smokes Yams.
Daddy Smokes Yams. That's a fire name. What's up, fam?
First in the building. And J-Mo is here, of course.
Hey, J-Mo in the building. What's up, boy?
What's going on, J-Mo? Peter Parker.
Hey, okay.
In the
we got
building.
2 Pete. This a Pete Parker.
Spider-Man.
Oh, that's Pete Parker.
That's
my
Pete
bad.
Parker.
My bad, Pete. My bad, Pete.
Yeah.
DJ watched the DC area DJ Peter Parker for a while too, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And
He's
then
in Minnesota now, actually, man. I still stay in contact with him a little bit on Twitter.
Oh, nice.
Mr. Lax 044 in the building.
I wonder, what is the 044 for? You know what I'm saying? I want to know what that's for. Is
I'm
it
gonna
random?
go out on a limb and say that's the number he wore when he played lacrosse.
044.
Come on.
Well, maybe not the 0, but the 44. Maybe somebody else had LAX 44 and he had to throw the 0 in there to make it a usable username.
Okay.
Inmate number. That's an inmate number. You
It's an inmate.
Facts.
Facts.
And my man Joseph, what's
He
going
literally
on,
said
Joseph?
that was my number in high school lacrosse.
See?
Come on, Beard. You made the smart choice there. You made the
Yeah, right. Lax don't seem like he'd be an inmate. You know what I'm saying?
Joseph, Bobby in the building.
Hey, what's up, Joseph? How you living, fam?
Joe.
And the amazing Sunday. Shout out Sunday. Sunday always taking care of us in the chat. We appreciate that.
Big shout out Sunday.
Always.
And Papa Homewood is in the building. Talk
Pops.
about this ice storm. Okay, man. This morning, first of all, I went to go get McDonald's last night at like 11 o'clock at night because I was up late packing orders, and I was watching Bad Dog in the parking lot with Cop Pizzle while
Great
it was
stream.
literally just ice coming down from the sky. It was insane. I'm sitting there eating a McDouble, and I'm just like, man, what is happening?
How was your
this
drive to McDonald's, though? It was safe. It was good. You didn't have trouble.
I mean, the main roads weren't too shabby, but obviously, you know what I'm saying, the CRV, I was, driving like 7 to 9 miles per hour, you know what I'm saying, keeping it nice and easy, breezy. But then this morning, I was at the Staples because, the USPS is messing up all the orders, and my bubble wrap hasn't arrived, so I had to go buy emergency bubble wrap. And I'm literally, there's, where the duck pin from last week's trivia is at.
Oh, yeah.
So that entire parking lot, I don't know how or why, just was like not treated at all. So like literally I'm like ice skating with 3 giant rolls of big bubble wrap in my hand to the car this morning. It was just...
Welcome to Aspen Hill, Glenmont, man. They stopped
Facts.
thinking about us 20 years ago.
It started to melt though, most of it today. I know
I was gonna say the opposite actually, man. I stepped out on the deck last night and it was like just pretty much raining. It wasn't too crazy, but today, I mean, the ice was literally on my first step. When I took that first step out there on the deck, I was cleaning up some cat litter. It was almost I was about to be on the injury report for the Giants this week. It was looking real ugly.
I always think about that when I'm walking. Like I'm not one of those. You know how some people they just like. It's ice on the ground, but I'm not going to change the way I walk. And then I'm going to slip and end up on a security camera footage on Twitter. No, I always take caution.
I was having the damnedest time trying to figure out what he said right there.
Kind of followed along, though, but it's the same way with driving, though. People go out there driving like it's the same kind of weather, and then people were slipping on the exits on 270. It was a show out there yesterday.
Yeah, I was going to say that too, Scotty. A lot of people, man, they get behind the wheel and the way that they drive in the rain and in the snow, it don't change at all. They almost drive faster when it's icy out, which is ridiculous, man. But at least we didn't get hit like New York. I saw Bad Dog on his Instagram today, man. They got 28 inches of snow in certain spots in New York, man, which for me right now, I wouldn't mind a good 28 inches of snow to just keep my ass in the house, man. You know what I'm saying?
That would kill my business.
I was gonna say, like, they're gonna pay me anymore to not go to work. Oh, I'm be in trouble.
Your outlook of snowstorms changes the older that you get.
Yeah, and depending on what you do, because for me, it's like, man, my business been screwed up all year no matter what kind of weather going on outside. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man,
it's 2020. Why not, right?
Get some hot chocolate, you know what I'm saying? Turn on the Xbox or something,
Keep
real
the
chill
PJ
stuff.
Pants on all day.
I haven't gone sledding in a long time, though.
I'm PJ Pants all day, dog.
I knew you were going to say that.
Hey, dog, I literally put on jeans to come on the podcast. I'm like, what the hell am I doing,
You
man?
run into the corner store just to grab like a quick drink or something like that. PJ Pants, no worries.
PJs, straight up. Yesterday, I went to Walmart with some Stewie patterned PJs from Family Guy with a plaid flannel joint. I had a blue flannel joint and a Giants hat on. I was looking crazy. And I know people be looking at me and I'm like, yeah, I don't give a damn, man. Stop looking at me. I'm at Walmart.
You already get a little bit with the mask on there, so it's like you don't even really know who I am anyway. So whatever.
Yo, you know who I bumped into at the Walmart actually yesterday was Umar Ferguson, bro.
In here in the city?
Right here. And he lives around here. And for those that don't know, we all went to Albert Einstein High School in Kensington, Maryland. And we had the Maryland State rusher play football on, it was my sophomore and my junior year. And I saw him in the Walmart, bro. He was like, he called me out. I said, I couldn't really tell if it was him, and I ain't gonna front. I just kept it moving. COVID, I don't keep the conversation going too long. I was just like, hey, man, stay blessed, bro. Stay out of trouble. I'm gonna holler at you, man. But it was good to bump into him for sure.
He looked in shape, or did he look like he was 40 years old, or what?
He looked the same. Yeah.
Legend, man. That dude, that name, yeah. His dad started Sligo. He probably still teaches at Sligo.
Yeah, man, he was a really good football player, man. Went on to Temple to play over there and didn't truly get his shot out there, I feel like, but he was a really good running back.
Yeah.
Shout out to Roman. Roman's in the building. What's going on, Roman?
What up, Roman? What up?
Joel. What's up, Joel?
Gang.
What's going on,
fam?
brother? Thank you for joining us as always. Caitlin Dragon 56.
Hey, me and Caitlin was having big conversation last night in that the Bad Dog and Cop Pizzle stream, man. We had some good points, man. I want to go back and revisit some of those points too before the year's over, man.
What's the 56 for? I'm asking. We got to ask about the numbers.
Yeah, what
now.
is the 56 for? Maybe it's 5-6, you know?
5-6, right.
Birthday vibes.
Could be May 6th.
Oh, look at
Or
this.
Lawrence Taylor?
We need the sound effect.
Wrap up.
Oh, Glock's in the building one time. I be guessing where these sound effects be at. What up, Glock? What up, man? It's going to be an interesting game this week, bro.
Shout out Matthew Murphy. Do we have some more Washington football viewers today? That'd be great.
That's what's up. We need that.
Marjorie Simmons giving a run for Adam Schefter's money every day.
Big time. Marjorie hit me up in the DMs and gave me some information this morning. Early, I woke up right to some news, so I was like, very appreciative of that, yo. Thank you, Marjorie.
JD Davis, what's going on?
What up, JD? What up? Hey, Lucas in the building. What's up, fam?
What up, Lucas? Mr. Eddie Jr., what's good?
Eddie
what's
Jr.,
good?
okay. I'm trying to figure out that Abby. It's a little small on my screen. That's what's up, though. What's good, Eddie?
Johan is here. Johan and I picked up some Prism football the other day. Stoked about
really
that.
Hard. You robbed her pretty much. You took every box she had, huh? He sent me a picture of it, and I was like, "Oh, you better text Tim." He's like, "Tim met me there and split it." And I was like,
Word.
My lovely girlfriend Josephine is in the building.
Hey,
what's going
up,
on, Josie? Nick the Wick, what's good, Nick?
Oh, PTA in the building. What's up, PTA? I see you, Nick. What's up, Nick?
Julissa.
Oh, Jalisa in the building. Hey, Jalisa. I think you made your way over from Facebook. I haven't seen you on the YouTubes. Good to see you here. Happy holidays.
JJ Stangle.
Hey, what's up, JJ?
Mama Homewood. Perry
Dukes
Mack
in the building. Perry Mack was in the stream last night with Bad Dog and Cop Pizzle too. What up, Perry Mack?
And my chat just jumped, so
that's a weekly thing now. That's a new computer over there too, man.
No, it's not. You have to understand. Like, people who use StreamYard will explain to you when the chat jumps. It's like when you're catching up from the beginning of the chat, and when you get down to catching up to the point where it says new comments, it just automatically jumps you to the bottom of the chat.
User error.
No.
Right.
Bobby's
I got the
in the
same
building.
chat right here. What up, Bobby? How you living, fam?
Hey, Cooper's doing good, man. He's around here somewhere. Cooper.
And PTA Sports.
Pest in the building. What's up, fam? We gonna reschedule that live we were supposed to do yesterday, man. We got a lot to chop it up about, bro.
Bluegrass is in the building.
Bluegrass, yes, we getting there. Big news approaching, man.
And Waterfly, I saw Waterfly.
Hey, Waterfly
there he
in
is.
the building.
What's going on, Waterfly?
No, is Entertainer on right now? Is he live?
I think he's on with Mike Too Nice right now.
Oh, that's what's up. Shout out Mike Too Nice. Shout out Entertainer one time. You know,
And
to go to this
Ratty,
Giants podcast game.
Drew Ratty.
Oh, yeah. Drew was in the chat last night, too, man. What's up,
Best
Drew?
podcast on the net. We appreciate the love.
Major love, fam.
Jared Stubbs. Oh, and here he is.
Cobb Pizzle in the building. Hey, Scotty.
I you up last time. You were nowhere to be found after that, man. What's going on? When are you gonna
I got to give Scotty the one up on that.
I want to talk some Giants football.
That was real impressive.
It was good to see Cop Pizzle on last night with Bad Dog. I do always enjoy.
Yo, that might have been the stream of the year. That was just great information, man. Back and forth. I was mad when it was over, and Cop Pizzle just abruptly stepped out of the joint. I was like, dang, that joint already over, and I chopped it up with Bad Dog for a little bit.
Right here. There's no kitty right here. This is a big dog. He's a little older, got some years on him, but he's a dog. Okay, we're dogs over here.
What up, Coop?
Let's go. No kitties.
Cooper.
No kitties.
Wow.
All right. If you guys know, every Thursday we pick all the NFC East games upcoming, as well as the Thursday night game. The Beard, always anxious to know the picks. He balled out again last week. He went 4-0. Awthentik went 2-2. So now the Beard, I believe you got a 4-game lead on him.
4-game lead.
What's my overall standing on picks this year?
Gotta look into that too. The papers.
4-game lead. That's your overall standing on
I
picks.
think I'm like 40 and 17 now or something like that.
Nah, you're not that good. You were 34 and 17, I believe, either last week or 2 weeks ago. So you might be close to that. You've been doing pretty well. Gotta give you that. I did not have a good week, and I'm in third place. That's all y'all need to know. That's still a medal.
That's all y'all need to know.
All right, you guys ready to get into it?
Yeah.
Yes,
hey,
sir.
and don't forget to hit that thumbs up before Scotty Boomz gives you his little solo soliloquy about the next first matchup.
And I was hearing the thumbs down actually give you the same kind of reaction.
Anything, yeah.
So, hey, if you're not feeling us, hey man, do what you do.
Somebody
give us
gave us a thumbs up before we even started. I was like, man. The love is real.
That's that authentic burner account. You know there's a fake authentic burner account going around the Giants community right now, man.
Stop.
Every time I pop in their chats, man, they're like, is this the real authentic? I'm like, come on, bro.
Are you serious?
Dead serious. And somebody actually, I won't even go there. But let's just say that people are putting some explicit pictures up on people's streams when they tap in. And 2 people have got while I've been watching them live. One of them, I was on the live. I was on live with Hub, and somebody got Hub. And that actually demonetizes your video. So that was a major L. But the other one happened to entertain her, too.
Someone's going to put one of our pictures up on here or one of their own pictures?
No, explicit pictures. So they act like they're authentic while they're waiting backstage in the chat, right? And then when they actually get turned on to the stream on a Q&A, you get the explicit picture.
Can't be authentic, though. There's only one authentic.
Oh, it's definitely not authentic. It was a white guy. It was a white guy. The picture was a white guy. I'm going to show you the screenshot when we get off air. It was it happened one time when Cop Pizzle was on with Nicole. And I screenshotted it. It's the most hilarious picture, but I can't post it to the internet because it's got some explicit content on it.
Right. We don't want to see that anyway, right?
I need to blur it out before I even show you. It was pretty bad.
We'll make some jokes around here, but we're not trying to show you anything like that. No
Definitely not. And we need the monetization coming in for sure.
YouTube would be like, denied. You guys are shut down. Restricted. All right. First preview we're going to talk about, like we did on Tuesday with the recaps. We're going to start from the bottom. We're going to move our way up. All the teams got a win except for the Giants, but the standings remain the same. Dallas Cowboys coming in last place. They do host San Francisco 49ers this weekend. Dallas is 4-9. San Fran's 5-8. Right now, San Francisco is a 3-point favorite. They're coming off that loss to Washington. Dallas, they had that big win against Cincinnati. Cincinnati pretty much handed it to them all the way. Talking about San Francisco, rookie sensation wide receiver Brandon Ayuk. He's averaging 99 receiving yards, and he has 3 touchdowns in his last 5 games, so he's coming on strong late for them, even with the shaky quarterback play. Talking about Nick Mullins, he had another interception against Washington. We know the dude's fearless, likes to throw the ball down the field. 7 interceptions in his last 5 games. San Fran's kind of like Washington and the Giants. Their margin of error is small. If your quarterback's turning the ball over at that kind of rate, can't expect too much success. 49ers defense, though, has been pretty good this year, even with the injuries they faced in the D-line. They're 5th overall in yards allowed. Adding insult to injury for Dallas, 49ers have only allowed 8 rushing touchdowns all season. Dallas side of the ball offense, it's been not great. They had 30 points last week, but like we said, Cincinnati handed them the ball 3 times in a row right off break, so it kind of helped out. With Andy Dalton, they're only averaging 17.8 points a game. That's totally affected their run game, which has generally been really good in the Ezekiel Elliott era. They're averaging 111 rush yards per game. That would be that's good for 18th in the NFL right now. If they finish outside the top 10, which is they're trending to, that'll be the first time since 2013 they haven't been in that top 10 category for rushing. So the quarterback play has been shaky, and it's obviously trickling all the way down to the all-pro running back. He had Ezekiel Elliott, talking about him, 5 games this year of under 50 yards. He had 6 of those total in the last 4 seasons. That's just kind of putting in perspective how bad everything's been over there for them on offense. Defense hasn't been good either. We can't talk about that in shining light, but the offense is really where the struggles start. The Beard, Dallas won last week. Cincinnati handed them the ball. San Francisco's got some injuries, and we talked about Mullins turning the ball over, but I think they keep it a little bit tighter than Cincinnati. Do you see Dallas maybe benefiting from another sloppy game pulling one out? Maybe.
Maybe, yeah, anything's possible. But I mean, we touched on this on Tuesday. They played the Bengals. The Bengals are nothing without Joe Burrow. Let's just be honest, right? Now, defensively,
they was barely something with Joe Burrow. Keep it 100.
Yeah. I mean, they were competitive though. You know what I'm saying? But like,
barely.
Barely. But as far as this game goes. You talked about it, Brandon Ayuk, and I don't know if y'all remember because I like to do this a lot, and I apologize in advance, but I like to remind people when I tell people about things and then they come to fruition. But like, y'all remember I was telling y'all about that boy Brandon Ayuk.
For sure.
And he's finally come on, and it's unfortunate, San Francisco's had all these injuries all year on defense and on offense. A lot of people hate on Jimmy G. I don't necessarily, I'm not like a huge Jimmy G guy, but I think that he gets a lot of heat, and, he was a quarterback on a team that went to the Super Bowl. So, like, you have to, Yeah, that defense was really good. Don't take me wrong, but I think Jimmy G is a good quarterback. So it hurts them.
He wins games, but
he does win games.
They say win-loss is not a quarterback record until you see a quarterback like Jimmy G who passes none of the eye tests. But they're like, oh, he's got a winning record. But I thought that win-loss wasn't about the quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I just think that we really haven't seen. We've only seen one full season of Jimmy G.
Damn, hold up. Did Bobby lose his cat Seahawk this week? I'm seeing in the chat, man. R.I.P. if that's the case. Wow, that's crazy, bro.
Sad, bro.
That's super sad, bro. Hopefully, you recovering well from that. That's tough, bro. Dang, that's tough.
Can't even imagine losing my boy.
It's tough. And losing animals is super tough, man. I hope, that's real tough, Bobby. Prayers go out to you, bro.
Yes, for sure. And it's tough, man. Romeo getting old now over at Ma Duke's house.
Yeah. That's tough. I ain't mean to kill the moment, but I saw that in the chat. Wow, that's crucial, man.
Bring everything down. Put a beat back on. Get it back up in here.
Yeah.
So, where was I going with this? Oh, Jimmy G. Yes, okay. And not having George Kittle, you know what I'm saying? Like, those things are going to affect an offense. But we all know Kyle Shanahan likes to run the ball. It's just, for me, I get confused of what they're actually trying to do with the run game, right? Like, Mostert, McKinnon.
Oh, Seahawk is alive. That's good to know.
Jeff Wilson, Seahawk is alive until they play Washington this weekend. But that's another, we'll save that for later. But, yeah, so, they have this stable of running backs over there. And last week, I felt like you don't see McKinnon anymore. I don't really understand why we're not seeing McKinnon anymore. And McKinnon is actually the best receiving back of all those backs. I mean, Jeff Wilson's pretty good too. And Mostart's, multi-dimensional, but like McKinnon is the one who they can really utilize the most. And so
Mostert being a featured guy over there. I mean, I think he showed the most.
I do like Mostart being a featured guy, but if you looked at when they were playing Washington, right, when they were in that sort of situation where they were trying to make those passes to the running backs and using the running backs on third downs and then running back pass plays, typically you see McKinnon in there, but they weren't putting McKinnon in there. And I'd heard rumors previously in the last couple of weeks leading up to this that like they pretty much put him on like a count where like he'll play a game and then not play a game or something weird like that because he's
right.
Yeah, he had that really bad injury for 2 years in a row. Remember, he originally signed that huge contract in San Francisco, and then he had like 2 back-to-back season-ending injuries.
Wait, he was coming from Minnesota?
Yeah.
Okay.
Atlanta originally, wasn't it, or was it
Minnesota?
Yeah, he was doing well for them over there before then. It was an ACL injury, right?
Yeah, and then he had I forget what the second injury was, but and then Deebo Samuel. First play of the game against Washington, the hamstring. So I don't know. I'm not sure what his status is right now, but like, you need some weapons out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, but with the Dallas defense, I think you'll see Brandon Ayuk have probably live up to that average, if not a bit even bigger and better game. I just think that San Francisco has the ability with Kyle Shanahan to keep Dallas's defense on their heels, and I think that in the end, that's what's going to hurt Dallas and not allow them to win this game. I think their offense has looked better. Andy Dalton has looked better, but against inferior competition, you know what I'm saying? Like, it depends what happens when you play. Like, San Francisco's defense is not bad. Even though they're, like, killed by injuries right now, they're still a pretty decent defense.
They're good against the run game, too, which is what Dallas, wants to do right now.
Exactly. And their pass defense was supposed to be suspect, but they did a good job. I mean, albeit it was Washington, but they did a good job. So, there's weapons.
Out when you're playing Washington brackets.
Yeah, there's weapons on the field. We'll just got to see who can utilize their weapons in open space best. And I think that's going to determine who wins this game.
Before we kick to Awthentik real quick, talking about Dallas' secondary, Chidobe Awuzie, he's probably their best corner. He did practice this week. He's probably going to play. But then rookie Trayvon Diggs and Anthony Brown, both limited. Shavon Smith, no one knows this guy's name because he wasn't on the roster a couple weeks ago. He got a broken hand. He started last week. He's probably going to start again this week, opposite of Awuzie. So the secondary is shaky. Awthentik, you think the Niners are going to come in here and show Dallas what a professional football team looks like?
I mean, I think that the key to victory for the Niners here is going to be run the rock. I actually think it's a little bit opposite from what the Beard was saying a little bit here about Raheem Mostert, because Raheem Mostert last game, he was running pretty well. I just felt like he didn't get enough carries. And this year, he hasn't gone over 20 carries the whole year. Granted, there's the injuries there that have been there for him this year as well. But, I mean, he's a physical back. Every time I see him run, I'm just like, he's the kind of running back you want on your team, especially as it gets colder out here, going into December and January. The colder it gets, the more you're going to want to rely on a running game like that. And, I mean, I think that their front is very similar to what Washington is doing now. Taking them to the Super Bowl last year, they really did that on the back of the defense and the running game. And I think they got to just get back to basics, especially if Jimmy G's not going to be available in this game. I haven't seen if he's been named the starter or not, but Nick Mullins seems to be up and down. Nick Mullins seems to be able to make, he's got a pretty decent arm normally when you see backups come in the game, you see a drop-off in velocity in the passing. And with Nick Mullins, I feel like he does have the velocity to be able to throw in this league, but the accuracy is a major problem. I mean, he was missing wide receivers who were open by 5-8 yards. He's completely missing the throw. So, I mean, I do think that quarterback play is going to be, an important thing in this game, but I do think it'll start with the run up front first. And if I was San Francisco, I would totally try to get Raheem Mostert clicking early.
That's a good way to do it. All right. The Beard, give me a pick and a score, maybe like a fantasy play to look for.
I mean, Brandon Ayuk is that guy. And then if you want somebody like, sleeper cheap, Pollard, man. Pollard's been getting a lot of touches lately. I mean, he's always getting touches, but I feel like he's becoming more prominent in this offense. And I don't know if they're just kind of like, giving Zeke more plays off. But Tony Pollard might be like a sleeper pick for your daily fantasy sports. If you're trying to punt away a position and you want something like, real cheap, I'm sure he's going to fall way under the radar as far as like, he'll probably be like around 4,000 for a running back. But I almost picked Dallas. But I'm gonna ride with San Fran. I think San Francisco is, they're battling. Kyle Shanahan's a great coach. I'm gonna go San Francisco 21, Dallas 13.
I hear you, man. I want the 49ers to win this game, but I think this is a tough game to call, man. And being that the 49ers held Washington's offense to 0 points pretty much, no touchdowns, and Washington still won the game, I don't know whether to put Washington on a pedestal. I don't know what to do with the Cowboys in this game. I really don't know how to think about the 49ers, to be honest. I mean, the Cowboys got off early against Cincinnati with the 3 early fumbles. They pretty much spotted them 17 points in that last game. It's really hard to judge what team you're going to get in this game. I mean, 49ers have the home field advantage, but they're not even playing at home. So it's like
and that field is horrible.
You said Pollard might be a fantasy sleeper, but that was the one glaring weakness with the Cowboys last week. Everybody played pretty well. Andy Dalton completed the 7 different wide receivers, I think it was. Yep. And the one glaring weakness was their offensive line. They couldn't open up holes for Zeke or for Pollard. Both of them, I want to say, were right around 40 yards, which is kind of like in a win. You normally don't see that, especially from Zeke Elliott. I wrote down the 49ers, and I think what they're going to have to do is stop the run, obviously. But I think the one thing that has been surprising with Andy Dalton in the lineup is Amari Cooper is still getting his man. Like, his statistics look great this year. The other wide receivers have suffered. CeeDee Lamb's drop-off, you definitely saw it when Dak Prescott went out. And Michael Gallup, I heard some people talking today, is Michael Gallup a guy you might want to trade for a piece on defense going into next year? So, I mean, I think he might be a guy who's a little bit expendable. I'm going to stick with my pick.
Contract, or is he still on a rookie deal for them?
He's still on a rookie deal, and he has 1 more year left on the rookie deal. But, it's either going to be you trade him next year, or if he doesn't produce like what you think he can, you probably going to have to just let him walk in free agency if you don't want to re-sign him. And he seems to be that kind of guy. I mean, he's not making huge plays. I want to say he has 2 touchdowns on the year. He's not making a...
Washington will give Troy Apke for Michael Gallup straight up right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Apke could help this Cowboys defense, but that would definitely help you guys out because y'all definitely need a number 2, number 3 kind of wide receiver. But I'm going to stick with my gut on this, man, and I'm going to pick the 49ers in this game. I feel like that defense came out. They played pretty well. The turnovers last week, Washington was just on one with the turnovers. Chase Young, definitely 99 problems. It's just coming from one person. It's kind of crazy. I need Raheem Mostert to go over 20 carries. I think that's going to be the key for the 49ers to be able to get a victory. Give me the Niners in a close one. I'm going to say 21-19 49ers.
21-19. I'm taking Dallas. I know that San Fran looked bad last week, but I do think Dallas's offense is better than Washington's offense without Antonio Gibson and maybe without Alex Smith. I don't know what you're going to get. So I think Dallas is a little bit better on that side of the ball. So I'm going to take Dallas in this game, 28-17.
I'm not mad at you. Andy Dalton's been playing decent football, had his second good game of the year. This is probably his second best game of the year, too. The Minnesota Vikings game was a really good one. And they seem to be kind of correcting the game plans over there in Dallas a little bit and not, just focusing on trying to get the ball to Zeke, but trying to find ways to win in other capacities as well.
Smart way to do it, too.
Yeah.
I like the scores. I'm going to go ahead and pick a game up on you fellas when I win that one, when Dallas pulls out that. I need that.
Yeah, I feel you.
Second NFC East preview we're going to get to tonight. The Beard, first place Washington football team. They are hosting Seattle. Seattle's coming in at 9-4. Washington 6-7. Coming off that win against San Francisco. Seattle completely obliterated the Jets. I believe it was like 40-3, if I'm not wrong. Seattle's quarterback, Russell Wilson, started out MVP favorite first 6-7 weeks of the year. Tapered off a little bit. In his career, he's played well against Washington. In 3 games, he's averaging 88 rushing yards. Best way to neutralize a good D-line and good pressure is to have a mobile quarterback. It's good. It's okay to have. It's nice to have a good offensive line, but getting 5 guys cohesively working together, that's difficult, as opposed to just having one guy like Russell Wilson who can avoid pressure. And if you're bringing a blitz, you're bringing pressure in your DNs, go too deep. Now you got Russell Wilson scrambling for 20 yards, and that's what he's done historically against Washington. Pete Carroll, in his 8-game career against Ron Rivera, he's 6-2. Those games are mostly in Carolina, probably all in Carolina, but still means Pete Carroll might have something on Ron Rivera a little bit going on there. Alex Smith, he suffered that calf injury last week for Washington. Unsure if he's going to start or not. He's not practicing at all. Dwayne Haskins is taking all the first-team reps. Ron Rivera came out, I believe today or yesterday, and said, I'm comfortable starting Alex Smith with no practice at all during the week. So that I don't know if that is an indictment of Dwayne Haskins or just the confidence level that he has in Alex Smith playing. But this season, though, with Alex Smith on the field, Washington's 4-1. Without him, they're 2-6, averaging only 19 points a game. So he's really been the difference maker. Washington's defense balled out last week. That's really been the talk of the town. They're one of 3 teams this year that have at least 4 players with 5 or more sacks. So it's not one guy wrecking out there. They're doing it. It's a team effort on the D-line. We know Sweat and Chase Young have been a big-time problem. Also on the injury front, Antonio Gibson, running back, questionable. He's not practicing, got the turf toe. I wouldn't expect him to play this week. Maybe next week at the earliest for that, which has been a problem. Last week, our offense looked stagnant, and without him out there, who knows? Also, free safety DeShazer Everett, he's sent to the IR towards pectoral muscle. Jeremy Reeves is probably going to be starting at safety now. Well, I like this kid. He was a practice squad player for a couple years. He got called up. Not only did he get promoted to the roster, he also got promoted ahead of Troy Apke, which is the best decision Jack Del Rio has made all year. The Beard, possibly no Antonio Gibson, maybe no Alex Smith. We saw how bad Washington's offense produced last week without Gibson. This week, we might have a whole game without Alex Smith as well. What can we do? What kind of game plan do you want to see to put some points up if we can do it?
All right. I don't know how many of y'all have seen the Queen's Gambit, right? Neither one of y'all probably seen the Queen's Gambit,
nope.
Right? Okay. So, I'm right now. I can't see the chat. Something's wrong with the chat. So my apologies if y'all don't see me answering y'all questions or whatnot. I'm gonna try and if I see things come up on my phone, I'll try and address it. But right now we can't see the comments in the chat. But so Queen's Gambit. So in Queen's Gambit, right? You know the chick used to the girl who was like the really good chess player, like she would take these tranquilizers because the orphanage that she was at would make her eat the tranquilizers, and she would lay down in bed at night and see the chess pieces on the ceiling. That's what I need from Ron Rivera, Scott Turner, and Jack Del Rio.
Scotty got that look like, where are you going with this?
It's Queen's Gambit, right? So basically she plays out the games of chess, like in her like she sees the pieces on the ceiling and like she plays out the games like really trippy stuff.
Mushrooms are legal in DC now, right?
Yeah. So that's really what I'm trying to get at, is that like I need this coaching staff to play their best game as a coaching staff. You know what I'm saying? Like this one is going to be on their shoulders. Because I don't know if Alex Smith is going to play quarterback. You know, and like you said, it's looking like we're not going to have Antonio Gibson. So it's like
that's the big piece to me. But I mean, Haskins, he didn't inspire a lot of confidence in me. Did he inspire confidence in you?
I mean, his first drive was good, but then he kind of came back down to earth after that, and it's definitely disappointing. But like, if he's gonna play, you would and like, all right. So let's say this was a scenario. If Haskins came in, but you still had Gibson, you'd feel a lot better,
definitely,
right? But now not if we don't have Haskins and we don't have, Antonio Gibson, they're really going to have to come up with a solid game plan. And to be honest with you, you might just have to pull the defense aside and be like, look, guys, I know y'all been doing a lot so far this year, and I know you just won that last game for us, but kind of going to need you to do that again.
I wouldn't even mess with the defense. Let them do what they do. That front four is balling out. They're playing really good football. Yeah. I wouldn't even try to, mess up the little chemistry that they got going on right now. I mean, and your backup running back had a pretty damn good game last week.
Oh, yeah. McKissick looked really well. I just think that there was definitely some play calling, issues. The balance between which one of the running backs they were using in which situations.
Yeah.
It is critical, but this game's going to rely on defense. It is. You're going to have to look. Seattle's giving up 3.2 sacks a game. Okay, that's the third most sacks. They're allowing the third most sacks of any team in the NFL right now, and Washington is coming, off of this game where They showed everybody why, there was all this hype about Washington's defense, leading up to this season.
I mean, let's keep it 100. They lived up to the hype of Chase Young. Because the man is a disruptor. As I like to say about Leonard Williams, he's a disruptor. And when you got a guy like that on one side, it helps out everything on the other side.
Oh, yeah. Montez Sweat is having this second year that Montez Sweat is having is absolutely amazing. He is – the chat's back.
Yeah, it is back.
All right, Montez Sweat
is we do it against non-mobile quarterbacks.
Right.
We struggled against Lamar Jackson. We struggled against Kyler Murray.
Yep.
Quarterbacks that can move it all, our D-line gets neutralized. And Russell Wilson's not on those guys' level, but he can be.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that, like, the difference with that scares me with Russell Wilson is that Russell Wilson is not necessarily – they're not going to run a play design for him to run. He gets his running done off of, pressure and scrambling and then going for 20 yards.
So it's really what position on defense matters most for those type of plays.
Oh, the edge.
You have to have contained.
Your linebackers, right? Your linebackers as well.
And with a quarterback like Russell Wilson, you need interior pressure as well, because if you seal the edge, you don't want him to be able to just step up and make plays. I don't think you got to really worry about Russell Wilson running. I don't think that's the issue.
You got
to
worry about Chris Carson running though. Now that's of course the problem.
You got to worry about the running backs, and when Chris Carson is on fire, the Seahawks are on fire. I've talked about that all year. They only lost one game with him in, and that was the game he got hurt in. But more importantly, I think that with Russell Wilson containing him in the pocket, it's exactly what the Giants did against him. The second wave of pressure is going to have to get there. When the edges get there and they go flying past the quarterback and Russell Wilson steps up in the pocket, you're going to need some of those guys in the interior to be able to step up and make sacks.
Mm-hmm. You're right. So, I mean, I know you're talking about DK Metcalf. You're saying, I'm not worried about Russell Wilson. I'm worried about DK Metcalf.
Well, it's going to be there. Look, you're not going to be able to go man on that, they're going to have to, you're obviously going to have to game plan around DK Metcalf, right? But we talk about this every time we talk about a Seattle game. You game plan around DK Metcalf, and who does that leave open?
Tyler
Lockett.
Yeah.
So somebody's gonna have to step up and make some plays, and not having ever is gonna hurt. But Jeremy Reeves, sleeper.
I like Jeremy Reeves. Jeremy.
He's played well when given the opportunity, and obviously, they're not gonna put Apke back there. So this is gonna be, and Cameron Curl.
From our safeties. Cameron Curl is going to have a huge game, because I'll tell you right now, our corners, they've played decently this year, but I hate the physical matchup. Darby and Fuller, those are little dudes, man.
And that's what I'm trying to think about. How are they going to do this? Are they going to put?
They're going to hold him. They're going to hold him, and they're going to poke him in the eyes, and they're going to kick him in the shin.
Are you going to put Fuller? Are you going to put Fuller on him? Are you going to just keep it whichever side he's on?
I don't think y'all got the kind of cornerback that's going to follow. I don't think y'all got that kind of guy.
Yeah. They're about. I mean, Kenneth Fuller's been playing worse than Darby, honestly. I think the last couple of weeks, Kenneth Fuller's gotten burned a couple times. And
I actually think that y'all are going to have to maybe, this year Washington has been relying on their front four to really get the pressure. And I think with Russell Wilson, you might have to send some guys. You might have to send a nickel corner coming off the edge, or send some linebackers, send some blitz at them because they're, that offensive line. I don't know if I can credit this to the offensive line of the Seattle Seahawks or credit it to Russell Wilson's pocket presence because he can make those little shifty moves in the pocket without moving too much, but dodging defenders and be able to make throws down the field. And that's why I think that second wave is definitely important. But also, this is probably going to come down to your offense. I think the defense, we know what they are. We know they're going to show up. You're probably going to be looking at a game around somewhere in the 20s as far as Seattle goes. But what is the offense going to do? The offense is going to have to compete in this game. We just talked about it. Like, they didn't score a touchdown last week, and I don't think you guys can afford to play another game like that and expect to see a victory.
Definitely not. And before I go into the offense, I do want to bring this up. So if you have noticed, one of the big things that has been occurring, especially as of late with the defensive line, is, if you can't get to the quarterback, do something to disrupt the passing lanes, especially by getting the hands up. And we've seen a lot of tip passes, batted passes down at the line. And don't forget, Russell Wilson isn't the tallest of quarterbacks. So this might be another one of those opportunities for some tipped ball interceptions.
Do you want to see blitz? Awthentik was saying blitz. Do you want to see blitz, the Beard?
I think you're going to have to mix it up. If you notice one thing about Washington is when they're winning, when they're playing good ball, they're mixing things up. That's offensively and that's defensively. When they get content and they just, I hate to use the word vanilla, but when they kind of get vanilla with things and they just kind of like, okay, we're going to let everything come to us, that's when we get burnt on those big plays. And then on offense, that's when you get the stagnant 3 and outs over and over and over again. So offensively, this is what I was talking about Queen's Gambit and the guys looking at the ceiling, right? I gotta have some of these. I don't want to necessarily see reverses on second down in the 10-yard line, but I wouldn't mind seeing some sort of, we talk about this a lot here in Awthentik in the Beard, and that is pre-snap motion. Like, we're going to need a lot of pre-snap motion. I'm going to need, just something to get a little creative to keep them on their heels, because if we don't have Alex Smith, if we don't have Antonio Gibson, we're looking at Terry McLaurin. So, find a way to get Terry McLaurin the ball. I like it when they run that little jet sweep with McLaurin because, he's so good when he's catching the ball, the yards after the catch. And he's had a few great runs so far this season. So I'd like to see some of that. I'd like to see some bubble screens with Steven Sims, something like that. Get his confidence going because he had a couple of bad drops last week. Get his confidence going. And then, do a lot of that stuff in the intermediate routes and things like that, right? And then try and catch them off guard. Cam Sims down the side, something like that. And if Dwayne Haskins is playing, look, Dwayne Haskins, this is your moment, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is it. You're going to get, this is your shot to prove to everybody, like, look, I've been working hard because I told you guys, I've been hearing these rumors about him working after practice and working out on off days and really trying to, like, grasp the NFL game. And it's just, I feel like the things that he makes mistakes on, just you gotta make those quick reads. Not everything has to be a bullet. It's almost like a fastball pitcher who has no control. Like, sometimes that's what I feel like Dwayne Haskins is.
Like Rick Ankiel when he got the yips for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Oh my God, that was so bad. I'll never forget that. But it's like, a lot of his problem is with the high pass. So, that's something
kind of bad accuracy. And that's one thing that.
See, I don't think that's bad accuracy. The high pass is not necessarily bad accuracy. That's a mechanic thing.
I don't know, man. He's been throwing the ball a certain way his whole career, pretty much, Mechanics are speed, That's
footwork too, though, right? Do you guys agree it's footwork?
Yeah, for sure.
I think footwork for quarterbacks was where the accuracy comes from, first and foremost.
Yeah. You want to have a tight base when you're in the pocket, and that's the thing that you see that Dwayne Haskins lacks. But I also think that it's about the game plan. Let's go back to the game plan one time. When they played the Cardinals, Dwayne Haskins was the starter in that game. He threw the ball like 35 times in that game, and that cannot happen in this game. You want to be able to rely on the running game and either stay in the game or get out to an early lead, because if you do that, then you can just have Dwayne Haskins pretty much just game manage, and those big plays that you want to see to Cam Sims and to Terry McLaurin can happen off play action and off things like that when the other team is expecting to run. But I would just try to limit him throwing the ball a lot. Try to keep him around that 25 mark.
I think that's a perfect number. 25 at tops.
And get back to McKissick, having a good game. And they tried to give Peyton Barber a couple runs last week, and you talked about the balance last week being a little bit off. But I think one of the major problems with the balance last week was that y'all defense was causing so many turnovers. If you look at the time of possession and you look at how many plays Washington ran, I want to say they got like doubled y'all plays last week or something like that. Y'all weren't on the field that much, and I don't expect that to happen in this game. The teams are game planning now, seeing what Chase Young can do off that edge and the strip sacks, how effective that can be. I think teams are going to try to game plan that. I wouldn't be surprised to see Seattle keep tight ends in and things like that to be able to have Russell Wilson be able to maneuver in the pocket a certain way.
This is a good point, too, that Matthew G brings up. And that's kind of what I'm talking about with that sort of intermediate route, area. Those quick slants are something that, can work. And it's a great route for Terry McLaurin because, if you can hit Terry McLaurin on the slant in the right position, the slant. I combine slants and routes. That's a slant. The slant route is called the slant. So if you can hit Terry on that, and put the ball in a good place, that's when he's most dangerous because he catches that slant. And if you lead him right, but you have to be very careful. You have to find the right place because if you lead him a little too much, he could get lit. If you throw it behind him, it could be a pick. So you got to be really careful with that play for sure.
Week, that was just about an interception that he threw to Terry.
Yeah, and that's the one that everybody kind of looks at, right? But you also have to remember this when it comes to accuracy. And I want to go back to the play with Steven Sims, where people were kind of like, oh, Haskins, that was a missed throw on Haskins, right? Like sometimes when you're watching a game, right? And you see the quarterback throw it, and they're like, oh, that was a bad throw, or he missed him. It was behind him, this and that, right?
Yeah.
They're not looking at the coverage, so they're not taking that into consideration. Like if he would have thrown the ball in front of him, it would have been a pick. So sometimes you got to throw it to the other shoulder.
I agree with you on that. The second throw that Daniel Jones threw in this last game, all the Giants fans in the chat were like, oh, it's such an inaccurate ball. But if you put that pass out in front of him, you're looking at a pick. So sometimes when the pressure is coming and the pocket is breaking down, quarterbacks are making a decision on the fly pretty much and just trying to find the most open window they can possibly find. And sometimes it works out, man. Look at the back shoulder fade route to Devontae Adams that Aaron Rodgers threw this past week for a touchdown.
The one where he took it took it like 60 yards. Yeah,
and
that was crazy.
People probably thinking like, oh, Devontae Adams, he really makes that play. But that play starts at quarterback. That pass is dead. He sees the cornerback get beat off the line and turn his head. And with his head turned, he then puts the ball on a perfect back shoulder. It's literally the perfect kind of chemistry you want to see out of a quarterback and a number one wide receiver. But that comes with reps. And that's how you can build that chemistry. I thought that Dwayne Haskins and Terry McLaurin had great chemistry in the beginning of the year. And the benching of Dwayne Haskins definitely, ruined that as far as it goes for Dwayne Haskins. Terry McLaurin's coming off of two pretty dismal games here. Time for him to step up, and maybe with Dwayne Haskins in the lineup, that could happen possibly if they rely on the run to start it.
And the whole thing is too is like we don't know. Alex Smith could easily start. Like I did read a quote somewhere where he was saying like he feels like he doesn't need to practice in order to play. Like I let me tell you something. I know I don't know, but I feel that there's nothing more that those coaches want to do than to play Alex Smith.
For sure.
Like, they don't want to have to play Dwayne Haskins at all.
Obvious. Yeah, they want to win, right?
Obvious.
Okay, now this is my question. This is my question, though. At what percentage? And I hate to do a percentage, right? And I hate to bring this back up because, like, it's easy for people to talk about it in hindsight, like how they did with Daniel Jones, right? But, like, with Daniel Jones, he was still making the throws. And I don't want to, say, oh, they should have played McCoy. Because like Awthentik said it before, like if he would have came out and balled out on one leg, they would have built him a statue, Facts. But like with Alex Smith, I feel like it's a little bit different because he's already a little limited. In his mobility, he's not the same. He does not have the same level of mobility as he did before the leg injury, right? And his arm strength is a little questionable as is. And if you don't have that calf to that, the extra push or whatever when you're making those throws, it's just in that situation, there's a point where it's like, as bad as you may think Dwayne Haskins is, it just makes sense to play him and not Alex Smith.
Which calf is it for Alex Smith?
It's the one where he had the leg injury.
I knew it's the one with the leg injuries. That's the left leg or the right leg? Because, I mean, you're talking about planning. For a quarterback, the front foot is not as important. That back foot is going to be the most important to be able to drive your passes and get power behind them. That's the only reason why I'm asking that.
But you're supposed to throw off your front foot, right?
Well, you plant off the back, so your power comes from the back foot. Your front foot is more follow through.
So Ben said it was the right leg.
It's the right leg. So I mean that's going to be a big problem for him, trying to plant on a right leg. Every quarterback drops back. If you 5-step drop or a 3-step drop, you got to hit that back leg pretty tough before you let the ball go. So I mean, I think that's going to be an issue. Is no telling. He didn't practice today,
left
right?
Leg? No, he did not practice.
Him
or Antonio Gibson have not practiced all week.
The other thing I'd worry about, too, is that, not getting the reps while you're injured. And I think Daniel Jones suffered from that last week. He didn't practice for most of the week, didn't get a lot of reps with the number ones, and then you trying to just hope that he's more healthy the day of the game. And I think that could be a detriment for Alex Smith, who's coming off of a pretty bad game when he last played.
Yeah, for sure. All right, the beard. Actually, start with Awthentik, man. Give me a pick and a score for Washington, Seattle.
Okay. I mean, this one is just as tough to pick as the Cowboys 49ers game was. McKissick has to have an impressive day. I'd keep Peyton, not even the targets. I'm talking about running the rock because he had like 60, 70 yards rushing last week. I'd keep Peyton Barber on the side. Keep him just for the goal line packages, trying to squeeze touchdowns in when you're close and when you're in the red zone. The front four is going to have to play just as well as they did last week. We're going to have to get a couple sacks on Russell Wilson. And like I said, the Giants showed y'all a bit of that way. It's that second wave because Russell Wilson can get away from the first wave very easy. It's the second wave. And that's why I think that Washington's going to have to be able to send a little bit of blitz in this game. I don't got faith in Dwayne Haskins. And at this point, I think he's going to be the one who's going to be starting. I'm going to go with the more proven quarterback in this one. And give me the Seahawks. I think they'll win this game 31-21.
31-21. Beard, tell me what I want to hear. What everybody wants you to hear, man. Everybody wants to hear.
Yeah.
I mean, defense is going to win this game again. The offense, no matter who's playing, Alex Smith or Dwayne Haskins will do just what they need, just enough to get by. Don't turn the ball over. We'll win the battle here. We'll probably get, but somewhere between 4 and 6 sacks on Russell Wilson. I'm going to say that Washington wins this game by a final score of 24-17.
I like this comment right here from Ben saying that the carries are underrated from Barber. But I think that's when Antonio Gibson is healthy. You feel me? Because you need a back who can hit these holes fast. It's all about getting 2 yards on first down. When your running game is struggling, you don't want guys that are going to get no gain. And Peyton Barber, he's definitely a guy who can get no gain. I like him, and I like his carries when Antonio Gibson is healthy. And then you can use McKissick as that guy coming out the backfield to catch passes. But I think that McKissick proved last week that he should be the number 1 running back going into this game.
Yeah, and I've talked about that.
But Barber, man, he gets what you need. Like if it's a 3rd and 2, he gets you 2. If it's like a 4th and 1, he gets you 1. I mean, he's not gonna break off big carries.
Don't give him the ball when you need a 7-yard run.
Down back. What?
Don't give him the ball when you need a 7-yard run. Give him the ball when you need 2.
Hopefully you're not handing the ball off if you need 7 yards. But yeah, here you go.
And I think it's important to set the pace in this game. Peyton Barber had more carries than J.D. McKissick did last week by 1. But the yards were almost doubled for McKissick. So it just kind of reminds me of the Wayne train in New York here. Like, go with the hot hand.
Yeah. I'm going to take Washington 19-17. That is with the assumption Alex Smith is going to play in this football game.
I like that.
I think our defense is just peaking right now. I mean, I'm worried about their wide receivers, but if our corners can get physical with them, I feel a little bit better. And I like Jeremy Reeves. I think it's not going to be a big drop-off from DeShazer Everett. All right, let's take a quick commercial break. We're going to come back with some trivia. Then we got the Eagles and Giants to close out tonight. Hang tight. We'll be back in about 15 seconds.
Expecting your lineup to be the only for it to turn into some. Well, we can help you rectify that situation. Come chop it up with your boys, Awthentik and the Beard. The best division in football. The best best division in football. Streaming live every Tuesday, every Thursday at 7 p.m.
Come chop it up with your boys. All right, we've reached everybody's favorite time of the week. It is Jazz Flutes trivia time.
Trivia
time.
Hey. I'm going to need some dings, man, when I win.
Okay, I got you.
All right, thank you.
One game win streak, all happy over there. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I did win the push for 3 weeks, you know.
All right. And
you know what? I want the when I'm wrong. I'll take those too.
I'll get a soundboard over here.
That's how we
don't
feel
care.
about your dings.
Boom don't care about dings and dings and none of that. I got 3 questions tonight for the gentlemen. We've upgraded our trivia time the last couple weeks here, thanks to Gretzel Rivera. We got chalkboards now. Answers come simultaneously. Makes the game go quick. Makes cheating less of a possibility, which is what we want. We're all about ethics over here. All right, 3 questions for tonight. 2 football questions, 1 hip-hop question. Awthentik, are you ready?
I'm ready.
The Beard, are you ready?
Jazz Flutes.
Yes.
Same time, game time.
Same time, game time. First question, number 1. Which franchise holds the single season record for most average points per game in one season? Name the franchise. If you give me the year, that's a bonus point. Highest points per game for one team, one season, NFL history. 6 seconds. 5, 4. Bonus point if you get the year this team did it.
Are you already wrote it down, right?
Yeah.
You guys both ready?
Can you give me is it 90s and beyond? I already wrote my answer.
It's 90s and beyond.
Okay, sweet.
To infinity and beyond.
Modern day.
I like that answer, Nate. I'm somewhere around there. All right, we ready?
Same time, game time.
Old school, same time, flip them. Let's see them. We're 99. Oh, you guys have it in reverse. They're both wrong. It is the 2013 Denver Broncos with Peyton Manning.
Oh, that was when he lit up all them touchdowns that one year.
37.9 points per game.
Dang, that's a good one. That's a sneaky one, man.
Yeah, you guys were way off in the chat, too. I see 84 49ers. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're falling up. 07 Pats were second. The 2018 Kansas City Chiefs were third.
Nice.
But what were we thinking about?
Kurt Warner.
Yeah, right? The greatest show on turf.
I mean, 90s, that was a lot for them. That was a lot.
Facts.
Nowadays, it's like everybody throws 35 touchdown passes.
Yep.
All right. 0-0. Going to question number 2. Who was the first African-American quarterback to throw for over 3,000 yards in the year 1980? Well, 1980 is when he did it. I need the name of the quarterback. First African-American quarterback to go over 3,000 yards in one season.
Man, I can't.
I have 3 that I want to pick.
I got one, and I can't remember who it is. I can't remember his name.
If you guys been thinking this hard, you've already lost. To be honest with you.
1980.
80.
That's what threw you off.
No.
80.
1980, not 80s.
Oh, it was 80. 1980? Oh, man.
See, now it's throwing you off a little bit, and that's what I wanted to do. That's why I threw that in there.
He's got a real basic name, too, man.
Joe Blow.
I can't remember it, but we'll see. We'll see what happens here.
You got 5 seconds. You guys done?
Yeah.
All right, let's flip them. Warren Moon, Awthentik has.
I don't even think Warren Moon was in
quarterback Lance All.
something.
Wasn't he a receiver, Lance Allworth or something like that? I don't know. No, the answer is Dougie Williams.
Doug Williams.
See, that was one of my 3. I was either Warren Moon, Doug Williams, or Randall Cunningham. Those were my 3 finalists.
I got to look up the dude I was thinking about. Hold on.
Oh, great score.
There was a year there when Terry Bradshaw was banged up, and the Steelers brought in a black quarterback. He's one of the more early black quarterbacks. Denver Broncos had one. I forget his name. He was the first black quarterback. And then this guy I'm thinking about, can't remember his name. Let me look him up though and see. Joe Gilliam.
Joe Gilliam. Good
He
name
was the
drop.
first African-American QB named as the starter going into week 1. And he replaced Terry Bradshaw, but it was in 1974.
That's a question, man. You gotta send me that thing. I can ask it in a question. That's a good one.
And let me get the Broncos guy, too.
R.I.P.
Briscoe. Briscoe was the Broncos quarterback. He's the first black quarterback to start.
What's his first name? Bubby Briscoe?
Let's see. Marlon Briscoe.
That sounds
Oh,
like
no. That's not right. That's not right.
Great name. Marlon Briscoe.
That's-
Marlon Briscoe.
That's
Marlon
a
Briscoe.
gangster name right there.
Nice.
Marlon
1968.
Brando.
Yo, and the only reason why I kind of remember that is because I was going to use them for like some cover art for a song, actually.
Cool.
But you got us, man. 0 for 2. That's pretty gangster, Scotty.
guys should
We
get
need
this last-
easier trivia. We need like who was the running back for the Washington football team in
Who won
1992?
last week? The Giants
Right?
or Washington?
We were in the vicinity on both of those answers. We had some ideas.
In the vicinity.
What the hell did you just say?
That's where B's are supposed to go. In the vicinity, baby.
I saw somebody in the chat say that they were learning Beardenese.
Not good. Don't
yeah.
try to do that. I'm at work now, and I start saying things, and I'm like, oh, I got to really, I can't start doing this at work now. I'm just going to in there.
Everybody loves a good Timism.
Hey, Sunday, we appreciate you for pumping the word out there about getting us at 50. That's awesome. Now we need to get to 75, she says.
What's up, Glenn? Swamp Picker in the building. What's up, brother?
What's up, Glenn? How you living, fam?
0-0. Going to question number 3.
Let's get it.
This is for all the potatoes. I don't know if that's the same.
Irish potatoes.
Irish potato. Hey, so you should win this one. Name me the neurological condition that Lil Wayne is afflicted with. Need the medical term for it. The one that causes all his seizures.
Oh! I just lost it. It was
All the potatoes.
Oh my gosh! It's on the tip of my tongue. It's
The beard probably doesn't have it. I think Awthentik definitely doesn't have it. Let's take a look here.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not quite sure I know how to spell this. So nobody in the chat laugh at my spelling, okay?
The codeine he drinks does not help this condition. It definitely hurts it. Causes more and more. All the potatoes.
I know this is not spelled correctly.
We're good on spelling. You guys have 6 seconds.
Same time, game time.
Same time, game time.
Flip 'em.
Go.
I just said I got a bacchiata. I'm impotent. Epilepsy is the correct answer. You want to smoke some of my finest? Epilepsy is the correct answer. The beard takes it down at the buzzer.
That was not a hip-hop question, by the way.
Let me ask you, though. Did I spell this right?
100%.
I did spell it right?
Chat. Yeah, you took it from everybody in the chat. I mean, you should have it.
Oh, I didn't even look at the chat.
I don't have chat. Look,
Shout out
right
Marjorie.
now I have 120 comments since we started trivia.
Sound good.
I don't believe it. Sounds good.
It sounds good.
Sounds good. I don't know about that. All right, the beard. Two-week winning streak, man. You almost got a 3-game winner. I think I can tell
I
you
like
about
it.
that. Third.
I need some better hip-hop questions, man.
That's the first bad one I've had, man. That's stuff.
I know, you're right. You're right.
I didn't write
Be
that
nice.
question until like 2 minutes before. If we didn't have the camera malfunction, I would have had a better question too.
Facts.
Right now. All right. Good trivia time, gentlemen.
Yeah, that was solid. Good win. Good win, the beard. Good win.
Thank
Let's
you.
get
Thank
into
you.
our next.
Oh, I didn't give you no.
You guys didn't have a whole lot of correct answers. You know.
Last one. There you go.
Hey, the beard. What time's kickoff tonight?
8:20.
8:20. All right. We got 13 minutes.
We'll fly.
We're
Giants shouldn't be too long.
It's okay. We're not running necessarily against the heart out.
My producers in the studio right now are giving me faces like they want us out of here, though. So I don't know. The lights are on. We pay the electric bill. It's fine. Next
Yup.
preview, we're going to talk about Philadelphia Eagles. They're coming in 4-8-1, traveling to Arizona, take on the Cardinals. Cardinals sitting at 7-6, coming off that win against the Giants. Eagles had that huge upset victory against New Orleans. Jalen Hurts now entrenched as the Eagles starting quarterback. 1-0, gotta love it. This is an interesting stat I pulled up from Philadelphia today. Kind of a damning indictment of Carson Wentz. Since 2016, with Carson Wentz on the football field, the Eagles are 35, 33, and 1. Barely above 500. Without Carson Wentz, a.k.a. Jalen Hurts and Nick Foles, they're 11 and 3, with throwing for more pass yards per game. So that tells me that maybe the coaching staff is good and Carson Wentz has been holding back what's a great coaching staff. I don't know. 14 games is kind of a small sample size, but an interesting number nonetheless. And if Hurts has a lot of success these last 5 games, they really should start thinking about moving off from Carson Wentz all the way. The Eagles' defense has been solid up front. Secondary has been their problem. They only got 4 interceptions on the year. That's second worst in the league. Cardinals, DeAndre Hopkins, 100-plus receiving yards in 6 different games this year. That's tied for first in the NFL. Philadelphia's allowed a 100-yard receiver in 2 of its last 3 games. Kyler Murray, we've been talking about. He had the shoulder thing a couple weeks ago. He hasn't missed any time. He's been playing, but it looks like a different Kyler Murray than the guy in the first 6-7 weeks of the year. His last 4 games, he's only 1-3. No rushing touchdowns. Defense is where they balled out last week against the Giants. 8 sacks total. This is another juicy matchup. Eagles have allowed 53 sacks on the year. That is most in the NFL. It's also with Carson Wentz, who doesn't know pressure when it's 8 people coming straight in his face. Jalen Hurts might be a little different story. Nonetheless, we'll see how that goes. Awthentik, I know you heard me Tuesday comparing Jalen Hurts to your boy Randall Cunningham. Philadelphia hopes he can be a shade of that. Is his looseness going to keep these Cardinals D linemen, specifically Hassan Reddick, away from the sacks that they got last week against you guys?
I'm glad you made that comparison to Randall Cunningham. I mean, it's like we got ESP here, bro, because I've got some statistics from Randall Cunningham that I wanted to present today. It's kind of crazy. And we didn't even talk about that. That's wild, bro. But, you know, as far as his – oh, you said it on Tuesday.
Yeah, it's probably just back of your head.
I missed it, and I saw something today, actually. It was Max Kellerman who brought it up on First Take, and I barely watch First Take. But he was talking about mobility doesn't necessarily lead to quarterbacks not being sacked. And he brought up Randall Cunningham, who was sacked 60 times in one season and 72 in another season, which makes absolutely no sense. And I know the young dudes are probably telling me right now, like, Awthentik, man, Randall Cunningham, that's a totally different era. But let's talk about Deshaun Watson in 2018, who was sacked 62 times. 62 times. And in 2019, he was sacked 44 times. So mobile quarterbacks do get sacked a lot here. We got to give props to Jalen Hurts, man. He was sacked 0 times in this past game against the Saints, who are a really good defense. We know that defense was coming in top 3 for sure. I like the game plan they called for the kid last week. If they can continue to do that, I mean, I'd like to see Jalen Hurts get more rushing yards. This past game against the Saints was 18 for 106. That's the second most in a rookie debut in NFL history. I like Hurts, man. You know, Bad Dog kind of had me a little bit iffy about Hurts. I'm not going to lie, because he pretty much has no faith in Hurts. And I don't watch enough college ball to really make a decision. But I think that if Jalen Hurts can throw the ball, he's going to be a dangerous quarterback in this league. And the verdict is not out yet, but we do know that Kyler Murray can throw the ball. And I think that this game is definitely going to come down to quarterback play here. And it's going to be important for Jalen Hurts to do the exact same thing that he did this past week. And he's going to have to avoid the rush, because Hassan Reddick is coming off that game where he completely destroyed Daniel Jones in the pocket.
Yo, I hate to interrupt, but the stats on that game, like, it literally, Chase Young didn't get Defensive Player of the Week because of that dude's game. Like, that stat line for one person is absolutely insane.
It's ridiculous. And he came in that week with 5 sacks, I want to say. He had 4 or 5 sacks going into that game. So he got 5 sacks in that game to just double up his season total, which is really crazy. And DJ had problems all day with that. But I do think the Eagles are going to have to continue to go to Miles Sanders in this game. Miles Sanders seems to break like 80-yard runs like every other week. He had an 82-yard run in this game. And me and the Beard were talking about this. I hope I'm not stealing those stats from the Beard that he wanted to say. I'm going to lead the one that I think he's going to say. But Miles Sanders has a really high average yards per carry this year, but his attempts are down. He's 24th in the NFL in attempts with 132 attempts. That's not going to get it done. The Cardinals allowed Wayne Gallman to come in at 4.8 yards per carry, but the Giants never committed to the run, so we know how that story went, and the Giants pretty much got handled and mollywopped that whole game. In this game, I just think the keys to victory, expect to see a lot of run out of both teams in this game. Kyler Murray, as of late, has been getting it going with his legs as well. I think whichever quarterback plays best is going to win this game. Big plays off the RPO for Jalen Hurts is going to be a must in this game. Last week they were pinned back on their goal line. I talk about this on Tuesday. They were pinned back on their goal line at the 2-yard line. They ran the RPO. Jalen Hurts got the 18-yard carry. Then they ran the same exact RPO to the exact same side again to Miles Sanders, and he broke that 82-yard run. These are some tough games this week, man. These are some really tough games because we got teams that are coming off. NFC East went undefeated if you take away the Giants last week, and in impressive wins. Washington, that's a game that I don't think a lot of teams thought that they could win that game. San Francisco came in banged up, but I picked San Fran to win that game. And the Eagles going against the Saints, nobody in their right mind thought the Eagles were going to go in there and beat the Saints, and they do that. So they're coming off a really high win. But the Cardinals are a really good team. The Cardinals are really getting it together. I wasn't quite sold on Kenyon Drake, who is banged up coming into this week, but he had a pretty good game last week. He ran the ball pretty effectively to allow Kyler Murray to do his thing. We know what D-Hop can do. I got to just go with what is proven, and I'm going to try to keep this fast. I know we're playing against the clock here, so I'm going to give you my pick now, Scotty. I'm going to go with Kyler Murray and the Cardinals in this game. The Cardinals defense surprised me last week. I think Jalen Hurts is going to come back down to earth in this game. A lot of his running that he got done last week was quick, just RPO stuff where he literally didn't have to make too many moves until he got to the second level. I'd look for the Cardinals to game plan against that this week. So give me the Cardinals in this game. And I like the Cardinals when they score over 30. I think they're going to get over 30 in this game. Give me the Cardinals 34, Eagles 21.
High scoring game. The Beard, how do you see it? Well, give me a little breakdown.
Well, this is the thing here, okay? Jalen Hurts is not Carson Wentz, okay? The Eagles are giving up the most sacks of any team in the league.
Carson Wentz is giving up the most sacks of any team in the league.
And Awthentik pointed out to me that last week the Eagles gave up 0. So Jalen Hurts, man, I'm going to give him a couple of weeks until people start to, start.
It's not a cupcake game, though. This is the Cardinals,
It is the Cardinals. But and look, this is the Cardinals, though. The Cardinals is Ohio players.
What?
I don't know, but you need to connect that for me. I know about the Ohio players.
Roller coaster.
Oh, roller coaster.
It's a roller coaster. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like they up and down. It's hard for me to
Ohio football players?
No, just Ohio players. 70s soul group.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you guys.
If you're familiar with Jay-Z's Imaginary Player, off of Volume 1, that was a sample of Ohio players.
And I believe
many hip hop.
I believe the Red Hot Chili Peppers also redid the song Roller Coaster. Roller Coaster.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Of love.
You ain't got to do that.
Okay, my bad.
Tried to hit that falsetto on him one time.
Yeah. So, but I think that, Jalen Reagor is going to have a big game. Jalen Hurts is going to show you a little bit more passing this game. But I think it's going to be a shootout.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
And this is going to be quite possibly a barn burner. This is going to be the Eagles' last victory. Maybe not, because they'll probably beat the Cowboys next week. But I'm going to take the Eagles. I don't know why.
That's interesting.
I don't know why, but I'm going to take the Eagles. And it's going to be 28-27.
Hold on a second. Is everybody in this group a dude? They're all dudes.
And Ohio players, probably. Yeah.
This album art is talk about bell bottoms, mid-rib shirts, afros. Man.
Yeah. Now, Ohio players is actually known. Outkast kind of took a page out of the Ohio players book.
This guy looks like Andre 3000 in here.
That too, but also with putting the females on the cover. Kind of like half naked vibes.
Honey,
Ohio
fire.
players were very, very known for that with their covers. Like they had very promiscuous looking covers. And Outkast, I don't know if y'all remember the first couple albums, Southern Player listed Cadillac Funky Music. The circle in the CD literally was where the private part was on the female. So I think they took a page out of them. Ohio players is a very famous group, man. Like hip hop sampled the hell out of Ohio players. A lot of their records, we call it. I won't even use that word on this podcast. I won't use that word on this podcast. But they took a lot of their samples, pretty much, without permission. we'll say. But Jay-Z's one of my favorites, man. And that's one of my favorite Jay-Z songs, Imaginary Player. That first verse on Imaginary Player that's probably the best hip-hop verse for me post-90s.
Look, this playoff situation, if we weren't up against an out tonight, like we would do a little bit of a dive, but Marjorie's giving you some right here. These last 2 weeks are going to be very interesting.
If it started today, Washington would play the Seahawks in the first round.
Yeah, and there's a good chance.
Game right here.
Yeah, we're probably going to play Seattle, Tampa Bay.
You got to watch out. Ask the beard how I like to talk when you see the go ahead.
If we win. That's what I was going to say.
When defenses get into the end zone and they don't got the lead, and you know how they like to do that picture, everybody all, right? That's what he's doing right now.
I'm just saying.
And I'd say the last time he jinxed y'all was when y'all were winning that game against Detroit, and there was 16 seconds left, and he started talking. I said, bro, if they lose this game, pump your brakes, man. It's going to be on you.
I wasn't talking that we were going to win. I was saying that I was scared because there was too much time on the clock.
Yeah.
You were an Irish jersey, too. You're not even rocking. I mean, if you're rocking geared out, like maybe, you know what I mean? But
maybe.
We'll
This is going to be a funny one. I'm going to mark this timestamp when y'all lose.
I said if we win.
You didn't. You
who will
said
play?
It after.
Because
who
you
we're
jumped in on me.
No, I actually let you go and get off. I let you get off, bro. Like, I'm going to keep it 100.
Washington is going to play. Who we'll see in the first round is going to be.
Edit.
Hey, but I tell you what, the way I really think you jinxing yourself here too is that you're picking the Eagles right now in this game. And if the Eagles win this game, you don't think they're going to go back-to-back against the NFC East? They're known to make these late runs in the season. They got the Cowboys and y'all, and you really just set yourself up. I'm going to keep it 100 with you.
I'm talking about.
Did you pick the Cardinals, the Bears? I picked the Eagles.
He picked the Eagles in this game. Yeah.
Reverse psychology. I got a couple of games to play with.
You're in first place, man. So you've been picking the winners. What do you mean reverse psychology, man? That's not good. You're right, though.
It started when he was talking about the chess on the board or whatever the hell he said. The chess on the ceiling. That's where it started, right there. I'm like, what's the name of the movie?
It's a series. It's called Queen's Gambit.
Queen's Gambit.
And if anybody has, I'm sure there's plenty of people that have watched Queen's Gambit in the chat, and they are understanding the analogy and how that all linked together. It's one of the most watched shows in Netflix.
Nobody.
Oh, I think this is Noah Rivera from he does a Giants podcast, I believe, man.
We're not talking about
Go ahead.
Yeah, we're not talking about Washington's quarterback situation drafting until after the season.
I think we need a new one. I mean, I'm not comfortable.
I mean, I'll give it. He's a great content creator, so I'll give you a quick take on this real quick. Make sure y'all sub up. If this is the Noah Rivera who I think this is, they break down Giants tape and play by play and stuff like that. They do a really good job of it. I forget the name of the channel. I just checked them out the other day if this is who I think it is. But I think that the Washington football team goes in with Alex Smith next year no matter what. And if they have to and they don't got the right draft pick, if they make the playoffs, I see them maybe still drafting a quarterback second, third, maybe fourth round, possibly to bring in another guy that they can mold behind, Alex Smith as being a Band-Aid to transition y'all into 2022.
Shout out my girl Tina, just popped in the vibes. Good vibes. What's up?
Hey, what's up, Tina? What's up? How you living?
From work. Okay, so let's get into the last one. New York Giants.
Hey, and I'll tell you this real quickly. I wanted to throw this out there. I mean, the beard was caught up on all his stuff, but I wanted to throw this out there too. Don't forget that a lot of rookie quarterbacks come into the league and they play well in the beginning. It's the sophomore slump that people had a problem with. And in first game for Jalen Hurts starting, he looked fantastic. But let's see how it looks when a team can game plan against him and know what he can do. I think the verdict is out on him a little bit, and teams kind of know what he can do a little bit. So, you kind of can know how to game plan against it.
My Dukes watches Queen's Gambit. All right, Tim, you get a little.
Ben Ball, you know I love some Kyle Allen. I thought he could have been the guy for y'all, but injuries was a problem, and he plays a little bit too bold. It kind of reminds me of how Darius Geis ran the rock, just trying to play too tough, trying to make plays you made in college that don't work in the NFL.
He did that all over his life, I believe, not just on the football field, off the football field.
Facts.
Felony charges.
Yeah.
Right. Good points, though. I like it. All right. Giants, Cleveland, is this the last one we got to talk about?
Yeah, before the Thursday night game, and we'll fly through this Giants one. I don't got too much. Everybody knows what's going on in this game.
Well, we know, but we don't know. Awthentik's New York Giants are hosting the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland's coming in 9-4. Giants sitting at 5-8. Cleveland's coming off that loss to Baltimore. And impressive as a loss you can get, if you ask me, the way it looked. New York coming off the disappointing loss to Arizona. Baker Mayfield, we've talked about him early in the year, talked about him recently. He's having a nice comeback season after that somewhat down year last year. 23 touchdowns, only 8 interceptions. He's 7-1 against non-divisional opponents this year. We know they play the NFC East, so that's been helping him out a little bit. But other than the Ravens and Steelers, Baker Mayfield's been getting his man on for sure. At the same time, it's been a lot of small margin games. 6 of the games he's won this year have been by fewer than 7 points. So they're not blowing teams out when they're winning. Winning's winning, but it's, small margins of victory, so take that as you will. Jarvis Landry apparently got spit on Monday night by Marcus Peters from Baltimore. He was not happy about that. He didn't know it during the game, watched the replay, saw it on replay, and he came out like, that's a real punk move. Some other choice words that we can't say on this PG broadcast, but he wasn't happy. He's been heating up at receiver, though. Last 3 games, he's averaging 7 receiving yards a game, 85 receiving yards. He's got 2 touchdowns in that span, so he's been a nice target for Mayfield. Nick Chubb, 5 games he's been back since his injury, averaging 110 rush yards a game. He's got 5 total touchdowns over that span. So that's really the engine that makes his offense go. We know Kareem Hunt's more of a complimentary piece. New York Giants, I'm going to get real quick through some injuries, kind of new stuff going on here. Daniel Jones has been practicing. He's hobbled. He's got the ankle injury now to go along with the hammy. They said a couple of dropbacks today in practice. He actually kind of stumbled on his ankle because it wasn't looking healthy. They said Colt McCoy, a couple places, is going to get the start. Not really announced yet. I think officially, Awthentik's probably going to fill us in on that. Offensive coordinator Jason Garrett, positive for COVID. He will not be calling plays. Ex-Browns head coach Freddie Kitchens, Big Freddie, he's going to be calling the plays against his former squad. James Bradbury, stud corner, going to be an all-pro this year. He's also out with COVID. Giants offense scored fewer than 20 points now for the last 3 straight games. So it's a tough week right now for them as far as who they're not going to have on the football field. Awthentik, give me a quick rundown on how you see the Giants succeeding despite overwhelming odds coming up this Sunday against Cleveland.
Man, it's going to be very difficult, man, with James Bradbury out, who actually didn't test positive for COVID, but it was just a close contact thing, so they got to keep him out the game. I'm interested to see what Freddie Kitchens can do calling the plays. Now, we do know when he was over in the Browns in 2018, he was pretty decent at calling plays, which got him a head coaching job. He didn't, fail until he became a head coach. As a coordinator, he was about middle of the road, and the Browns offense was about middle of the road. So, this is a revenge game for sure. And if you got Colt McCoy here, man, it makes it even more comfortable. We got 2 guys from the Browns organization going back over there. I'm hoping for something really fluke to happen in this game, and the Giants can stick around. Now, the big question here, and I see it in the chat too, is who's going to fill in for James Bradbury, which that's going to be crazy. I don't know what Darnay Holmes' health is looking like going into this game. Ryan Lewis is another option. Possibly you could maybe move Logan Ryan down, to play another cornerback position. But I think that's going to be that's one of the biggest things that Patrick Grahams is going to have to take care of before this game, so that his defense looks a little bit more like what we're used to.
Darnay Holmes play boundary? Isn't he more of a slot guy, or does he play boundary corner also?
He is more of a slot guy, but we have seen him out there on the edge a few times this year. Didn't play well though. I don't like Darnay Holmes out there on the edge. I'm not going to lie. I like him more in the slot, but you got to do what you got to do here. I think Darnay Holmes has the speed to be able to play out there. And if the Giants could go maybe cover 2 man, maybe play a regular cover 2 here and just have them kind of play in the slots, you put more emphasis on your safeties play. Maybe that could be something as well. But I think whoever goes in at quarterback here, Sports Illustrated came out and said that Colt McCoy is going to be the starter. That's the only place I've seen definitively that Colt McCoy is going to start. Otherwise, they're saying Daniel Jones is questionable. To me, it's very doubtful that Daniel Jones is going to play in this game, but whatever quarterback is in the game, they're going to have to take care of the ball. Giants allowed 8 sacks and 11 QB hits in this game, where Colt McCoy came in at the end and also allowed 2 sacks with 5 fumbles. 3 of them lost. You got the 1 fumble on the kickoff from Dion Lewis. We got to clean it up on every other phase of the game has to be taken care of. Special teams and defense is going to have to come out here and pretty much play a flawless game if the Giants are going to want to try to see any chance of a victory. I think we can run the ball on the Browns. The Browns have shown you that you can run the ball on the Browns. Last week, the Browns allowed 32 carries, 231 yards, 5 rushing touchdowns, 7.2 yards per carry. Now, we know that the Giants, especially if it's going to be Colt McCoy in this game, we are not Lamar Jackson and the Ravens here. J.K. Dobbins has been balling out as of late, and he was a big reason to that too. Gus Edwards balling out as well. Giants definitely failed to commit to the run last game, and that's what I'm most interested in seeing out of Freddie Kitchens is if he can commit to the run, especially if Daniel Jones does play in this game. I just want to see us commit to the run no matter who is at quarterback here. But above all, we got to stop the run. On the year, the Giants have done pretty decent against the run, too. We're allowing 3.9 yards per carry. That's 6th in the NFL, and allowing 101 yards per game. That's 7th in the NFL. Last week, we held the Cardinals to 159 yards, and with a mobile quarterback like Kyler Murray, that's pretty good. On 43 rushes, they had 1 touchdown. They averaged 3.7 yards per carry, so that's 0.2 under our average for the year. We need to see more of that in this game against the Browns. The Browns, they're the toughest team as far as it goes stopping the run. Nick Chubb has been balling out. Nick Chubb has 5.9 yards per carry. I think, the Beard, you said that's top of the NFL, right?
Yep.
Browns rushing, they're averaging 4.9 for running backs, right? Because we got who were the 2 quarterbacks?
Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray.
Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray above him. And Kareem Hunt is no slouch, man. So you got to stop both backs. If you can find a way to stop Nick Chubb, you also got to find a way to stop Kareem Hunt, who does a little bit of damage out of the backfield catching the ball as well. If the Browns get their running game clicking, it's burnt toast and coffee time for the Giants here. Because that's when they're able to pass the ball. When that running game is clicking, you can see Baker Mayfield has had some pretty good games these last couple of weeks. Last week against the Ravens, he had 343 yards, 2 touchdowns, only 1 interception, and he added to the running game as well and had a rushing touchdown. I think for the Giants, man, the keys to victory here are going to be get back to Wayne Gallman. Get back to that train, man. Is it here? Get back to that train, man. Get back to the Wayne train, man. Doors closing.
You guys still have before downtime.
You like that? You like that, right? You like that doors closing?
So Darnay Holmes and Ryan Lewis are not playing this Sunday.
I mean, I don't even know who they're going to throw out there at corner. That's going to be crazy. We in trouble. We in trouble, man. The injury bug and the COVID bug has hit the Giants tough, man. My boy Patrick texted me this morning, and he said, man, the football guys do not want us to win. And maybe we could come out of here and get something fluke. My gut wants to pick the Browns, but my pride is definitely going to pick the Giants in this game. That defense, I don't care who's out there. Next man up, man. We got to get back to form. We got to get back to shutting teams out like we did against Cincinnati, like we did against the Seattle Seahawks. And I think it's going to be very important to rely on this run early and get out to an early lead. I think the formula is Washington is in the same boat here. We literally got to find a way to run the rock without our main guys in the game here. We got to find a way that our defense can literally stop this team like we've been doing and get out to an early lead. If we could get up 10-0, Giants got a chance. You know what I'm saying?
Ball control, field position, those are going to be big. Not turning the ball over. I mean, I think it's been similar for the last 6-7 weeks for Washington and the G-Men as far as what we do good and what we have to do to win football games. It's been very parallel.
Yeah, facts.
Beard, before we get to the picks real quick, the Browns, they lost to the Ravens. Maybe the game of the year. Really good game.
Yeah.
A lot of people giving them credit for that loss. Are they a contender, or are they still a pretender in your mind? You see, maybe not a contender, but you see them possibly winning a football game.
Beard, real quick before you go, right? They tried to say that Lamar Jackson had cramps from when he had COVID. I don't know if y'all saw the tape.
Yeah, no, I remember I asked you that. I thought
he was clenching his butt cheeks, man. He was going to take a dookie. The
way that he ran down the tunnel, and you see when he gets to the door to the locker room, there's somebody opening the door. He's like, listen, I've been to some situations where I had to run to the bathroom before, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it looked early similar to the way that you could run to the back. You know how when you driving, right? You man, you got a choice. You do I pull over at the gas station or can I make it to the crib?
I'm not pulling over at no damn gas station. If I'm pulling over, it's gonna be in somebody's yard.
Or the woods.
You remember when we were playing basketball? What was that? It was probably January. We had a game. And we was dogging that night. We ran we won 2 games back to back. And then I was like, man, I got to hit the bathroom real quick, cuz. And I went to the bathroom and they ran 3 more games while I was in the bathroom. And Tim came in the bathroom. He's like, yo, you all right, bro? I was like, man, I'm all right, man. But my stomach, that drive home, I had to drive all the way from Glenmont all the way to D.C., bro. That That drive home was hell, bro. I literally got out the car looking just like Lamar Jackson.
Because look, to be like you can feel it, and it's the feeling that you get a little hot.
Them
right?
bubbles start coming
yeah,
out.
and then you know, like it kind of like it's like almost like a volcano, because you know, like you kind of do like you kind of go up, like
Maybe
like
it's
you
your
know.
diet. Maybe it's the diet he's eating. Maybe Lamar's eating too much of that Baltimore chicken basket.
Royal Farms.
That Royal
That
Farms,
Royal
bro.
Farms
That
chicken.
Royal Farms. Facts.
Look, and then somebody said he was almost gone. I mean, listen, you think about it like this too, like if he didn't, because look, it's not like you just got on basketball shorts, right? Like he got on like the girdle, the thigh
you gotta
pads,
slide
the
it.
cup.
I
you know what I'm
actually
saying?
took a dookie in my football uniform back in the day on JV. I remember it. And you just slide it all down. Tights, girdle, hip pads. We had hip pads back in the day. The hip pads used
Do
to
they wear
button
hip
in.
pads anymore?
Hell no. They don't even wear knee pads no more, bro. They ain't wearing no hip. They ain't wore hip pads since like Eric Dickerson.
Look, because I had big shoulder pads. I had the hip pads, the thigh pads.
Oh no,
the
you gotta
knee
take
pads.
a dookie with the shoulder pads on. You don't take the shoulder pads off.
I've wrestled, but I never had that problem. Like, you used to get the cramps and stuff, but like, you know, with the singlet on, you got to be careful out there. But I never saw anybody like have a problem out there.
Yeah, you don't want to have to slide the singlet to the side, take a dookie. That ain't a good look.
Number one, you can't slide it to the side. It's not a leotard, okay? Just a little bit different, Awthentik, but
All right, I didn't want to harper on the dookie and the number too long, but I thought that was real funny, man.
I mean, I saw the clip. The clip was hitting the Twitter rounds.
He was like walking on his heels, like, ooh, gotta get there, ooh. Then the Bama was at the door. He was like, get out of my way. It literally, hey, rest in peace, because it looked like Pops from Friday. It looked just like Pops from
Oh,
Friday.
man.
that's sad. So wait, you said contender or pretender? Or
Look, if you got a run game like that in the playoffs, you're a contender. That's just how I feel.
and Miles Garrett.
Facts.
When it comes down to this game, it's just there's nothing else that you can really say. Like, you're going to need it. This is the definition of next man up. And you know, like I like Joe Judge, and I think Joe Judge is the kind of coach you need for a next man up sort of situation.
Facts.
And it's not just next man up on the field; it's next man up on the headset. You know what I'm saying? Like Freddie Kitchens, as much as we clowned him last year, like, you know, there's just certain guys that are made for coordinator positions, and there's certain guys that are made for head coaches. He just wasn't ready for that head coaching situation. You know what I'm saying?
Like this, he had like a big, like oversized hoodie on. Like, dude, you don't look good, man. You're not ready out here. Like Matt Patricia, too, not ready to play.
Yeah. So, you know,
Not ready to coach.
I'm also want to say that they had to give him a new number 8.
Hey, Young.
Oh, man. So I think that this game that the Browns just played against the Ravens, though, in a sense, it might.
What up, Johnny?
You can take this in two different views. It might like benefit the Browns, or it might hurt the Browns, because, you know, the games like that take a lot out of you. You know what I'm saying? And you got to remember, they playing on a short week, albeit they get the Sunday night game. It's still a short week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, when you're looking in for a game and you're looking for ways and reasons that, you know, you can win the game, those are things that are going to come up. You know what I'm saying? So, I do think, because of the Giants' defense, I think the Giants' defense will keep them in. It really comes down to how the biggest thing about this game, 100%, like, I don't care who's out in the secondary for the Giants. I don't care who's playing quarterback. This is going to come down to how effective the New York Giants can run the football. That, to me, that's the biggest thing that will either keep the Giants from winning or keep the Giants from losing. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be the Wayne Gallman game of 140 yards. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Nice, though.
It would be nice for sure, but
Definitely.
like, you really need the run game to work to keep the defense off the field a little bit. That's where I'm looking, because the defense is going to have to win the game for you. You're going to have to force some turnovers.
Yeah, and I saw someone in the chat saying we're going to find out how valuable James Bradbury is to this defense too, and how much of that is Patrick Graham's scheme. You know, that's a great point, especially with two cornerbacks out, man. This is going to be tough for the Giants.
2 weeks ago, when Wayne Gallman had that really big game, if you guys remember the first half, he didn't have a huge first half at all. There's a lot of 1, 2, 3 yard carries. They stuck to the run, though. In the very beginning of the third quarter, the first drive, he got his man on, had that big touchdown run, a couple other like big runs, wearing him down. And that's what, you know, the G-men, maybe not necessarily winning going into halftime, but it's got to be close enough that you can still run the football, because that's when Gallman's really going to get his man-ons in the second half when the defense.
Yeah, that's real. And you could tell they committed in the second half of that game. The first drive, we didn't score on it, but the second drive, we did score. And then Jason Garrett got away from the run on that 3rd and 1 where we threw that fade route to Sterling Shepard and downhill from there. So I definitely agree with you on that. It's definitely going to have to start with the running game, and this defense is going to have to ball out.
Yeah, for sure.
Pick?
Go ahead. You get yours first.
I'd like to say that the Giants will win this game, but I think that Cleveland's going to win this game 13-10.
Ooh, low scoring.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Browns versus the Texans earlier this year a little bit.
I can see that happen. Authentic, give it to us.
Kyle Pizzle gave me the juice, man. I'm going to keep it 100. Last time with the Seahawks, it was Bad Dog. This week, it was Kyle Pizzle. Kyle Pizzle was saying that the Browns playing that game against the Ravens, tough game like that, high scoring, down by 2 scores, you come back, get in the game, a game you probably should have won. If Lamar Jackson's Dookie took another 15 minutes, Browns probably win that game. But I think it's going to be tough for them to come off of that game, off that loss, playing that hard and not getting a win. Even though they are balling out right now. Jarvis Landry has been having a couple fantastic games in a row here. I'm still going to pick my Giants here, and it's got to be a low-scoring game. I think not as low as the Beard said, but I'm going to go 17-13 New York Giants.
These are both scores I can see happening for sure. I'm going to take Cleveland 16-10. If I knew Daniel Jones was going to be out there and be playing healthy 100%, I might change that up. But if it's going to be a lesser Daniel Jones or Colt McCoy, I mean, I don't know. I'm worried about them for Myles Garrett because that dude's going to get off. And the offensive line, they've been playing a lot better. Last week was kind of aberration. I hope Andrew Thomas bounces back because he had been playing so much better, incrementally better week after week. And he did struggle last week mightily, but, I think he could turn it back around again. It's tough for rookie left tackle. It's the hardest position to come into in football. And
definitely.
Way, so still got to give him respect for that.
That running game will help him out a little bit. That running game will help him.
And that's what they need. And that's another big reason they got to run the football. You got to take pressure off your linemen. All linemen love to run block. You run people over. What's not fun about that?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Chargers game. Someone just, I think Pops said it's 7-0. Oh, yeah, it is. Raiders.
Yeah, 7-0.
Oh, down to the 40-yard line. All right, they're driving right now. 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Chargers are on top 7-0. Austin Eckler's been playing well. Force-fed the ball. Raiders defense has allowed 37.5 points per game since week 11. That's the worst in football. That's all the notes I have for you on this football game.
Hey, Scotty, man, I'm telling you, bro, I don't know what it is, but we lining up today, bro. We lining up today. So the Raiders are the only team right now with a winning record that is allowing 30-plus points per game. How many times y'all think that's happened in NFL history, that a team finished the season with a winning record, allowing 30-plus points per game?
4.
Beard?
I'm sorry, say it one more time.
I said, how many times do you think a team has allowed 30-plus points in the regular season and ended with a winning record in NFL history? How many times do you think that's happened?
10.
Once.
Oh.
It has not happened in the Super Bowl era. It happened in the 50s with the New York Yanks, I want to say it was.
That's an exciting team back then. It wasn't the game like 6-3 back then?
I know, right?
They were giving up 30 a game, and they made the
giving
playoffs?
up 30. Kind of crazy, man.
Okay, I have to announce a bet between Nick the Wick and Waterfly.
Okay.
Because they have asked me to say the bet out loud. So Nick the Wick is betting $20 that the Giants will win. Waterfly is betting $20 that the Giants will lose.
Easy.
The bet's official, gentlemen.
We're taking
Beard has blessed you.
2% VIG because you made it in our channel. That's how it's going to work. You can pay PayPal.
Facts. We're going to need a little bit of percentage there. But I'm taking the Chargers, and I'm boosted that they're up by 7 already. I'm taking the Chargers for the simple fact that, you can't be allowing 30 points per game and anybody take you seriously. And if you look at John Gruden's record with the Raiders in the past 2 seasons, in December and beyond, I want to say he was like 4-10 or 4-12 or something like that. So they don't finish out seasons too well. Even though I do think they'll get around that sooner or later. I think he's doing a fantastic job building that Raiders team up over there. But yeah, man, give me the Chargers in this game. I'm gonna go 31-24 Chargers.
Yeah, both these teams are boys in the summer. You know what I mean? These soft LA West Coast guys, they're not used to the cold weather you get during this time of year.
Facts.
Weird, who you got tonight?
I'm gonna take the Las Vegas Raiders. 37-35.
Oklahoma City Thunder? Is that what you're about to say?
No, I was going to say Oakland.
Oh, Oakland Raiders. Okay. Oakland's balling right now. I think they're about to score a touchdown here. I might be behind some people. I'm going to take the Raiders 45 to 35 because I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I like Herbert a lot, and I do like Derek Carr, but the Raiders, man, they've been struggling recently. They're not playing great football, but I think they're better than the Chargers.
Oh, you know what? There was two quick things I wanted to bring up to y'all before we go off. I wanted to bring these up in the beginning of the show. But did y'all see that they're voting on the 17 games for next year? And they said it looked like it's going to go through. So it looks like we're going to have 17 games next year. And this is a bonehead idea I think that the NFL came up with. They're planning to invite healthcare workers to the Super Bowl to have people in the stands because they've already been tested for COVID. But with what's been happening with COVID this season and all these players getting it, I just think that's a foolish idea.
I'll go.
Yeah, I bet you would. I would take the ticket. I would go there with an oxygen mask.
You mean a gas mask?
I would take that ticket any day and take that risk. I've never been to a Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, Raiders did.
Man, look, you wait. Where's the Super Bowl this year? It's in Tampa, right?
Yeah, I believe it is in Tampa.
I'm not sure.
Road trip?
Josh Jacobs? No.
You spotting the money for them tickets?
Nah, but we could at least broadcast outside the stadium.
Oh, I am not about to go all the way out there to sit outside the stadium.
It's Florida. It'll be nice.
It would not be nice. Everybody in Florida got COVID. Everybody named Mama in Florida got COVID right now.
Well, we won't be near them.
Florida too. We could wipe out half the population. They're all over 80 down there too.
Why don't we do a bad dog? Get the green screen set up. Put the Florida green screen behind us and just be like live from Super Bowl. Yeah, I mean, forget that. I ain't going down there if we ain't got no tickets, bro. Ain't no way.
Okay, but listen, let me ask you this, though. If it was not COVID, would y'all be down for a road trip?
100%. I mean, we talked about it in the offseason. We were probably going to do live broadcasts from each team. We were going to definitely hit Philly, definitely hit one here in Washington, definitely hit one in New York. So, I mean, yeah, for sure. Next year is going to be turned up, man. When we get to these tailgates, I can't wait to meet all these people in the chat, man, especially the ones who are residents of New York, man, and we could get out there for a tailgate. It's going to be fantastic, man. I can't wait for next football season.
I'll take a road trip, but I can drive. Yeah.
No.
He's starting for you tonight, isn't he, the Beard?
Ooh, Derek Carr injured.
Oh.
How bad the injury look, Nate?
Over. Fantasy season.
No.
Definitely, Nick. Definitely. Oh, pulled his groin. Okay.
So he didn't score yet. Who was telling me in the chat they already scored? I see him on the goal line right now. I must be like,
in the fantasy playoffs.
Definitely, Cernak. Definitely.
Oh, yep. He pulled his D. Oh man.
Is it bad?
Oh, it's bad. Oh yeah, he's coming.
Like he's not coming back.
He looks like he's walking around the stadium.
Headed to the locker room. Wow.
Yeah, he's not looking good.
You got to check out Awthentik's Bandcamp.
Oh, yeah, definitely check out the Bandcamp. Go to awthentik.bandcamp.com. That's where I got my whole catalog, 10 albums worth of Awthentik, starting back from day one, man. Check that out. And this new album's going to be here, man, January 11th. I'm putting the final touches on it now.
PJ, if you're still watching, you are a lucky son of a gun.
Hey, man, don't rule yourself out. You never know. You never know.
Never say never. The Beard, man, send him off right before we get out of here tonight.
Shout out to everybody. Watched us tonight on the YouTubes, Periscope, Twitch, Facebook. We appreciate all the love and the support. We got some things in the pipeline that we are working on, and we are super excited. We just want to make sure that everybody in the chat, everybody that watches the replay, everybody that was here at any point in time during this season, how much we really do appreciate y'all showing up for every episode, taking, partaking in the chat and encouraging people about this channel, because we would not be where we are right now without you guys. And it really does mean a lot to us. This is a lot of fun, and we hope that we provide you guys with great content, entertainment, information, things that you can use in your fantasy and help guide your opinions and thoughts and looks on the game of football and the game of life. Thank you, guys. We appreciate it.
Awthentik, give him something good on Thursday.
Hey, man, without y'all, there's no us, man. And I think we really realized that this season, man. Season one, we were doing, maybe 100 views on our streams. When we first started this season, we had about 10 people in the chat. And to see this grow to where we're hitting the 70s and the hundreds and seeing this channel about to really be, popping because of Giants Nation and Washington football team, it's amazing, man. So, kudos to y'all, man, that show up every week in this chat, man. Me and the Beard were talking about this off air about certain people who are just like involved and engulfed in the YouTube community, and they go around to all these different channels and showing love. He was talking about a lot of people from the Giants Nation that are coming into his lives now about reselling, man. So that's big love. For me, it's actually gave me a new angle and a new approach about what I want to do in media and what I want to do with music. And very regretful that I didn't start something like this early on with what I was doing with my music and with production and things like that. I just, like Nick DeWick said before he dipped out, man, I can't wait to meet most of y'all. It's going to be super fire when we get to meet next season and we get to do some tailgates, man. So, man, until the next one, man, just always know Awthentik, the Beard, Scotty Boomz, we always appreciate y'all, man. We definitely appreciate Giants Nation and the people who've been showing up lately, man, that represent the Washington football team. That's major for us because we live in Washington, D.C., so we need that representation, man. So big ups to y'all, man, and salute.
They said it. Oh, they said it right. And Joel, you're welcome, man. I was 75. I didn't hit like yet, so I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and in here and get us.
Facts, yo. Facts.
I mean, you're welcome. Thanks again. They said it best. You guys are us. Without you guys, we're nothing up here. We'll see you guys on Sunday morning for the parlay. Going over all the football games, over under spreads, give you some fantasy players. We know you're in playoffs. Sounds like the Beard's about to be eliminated from his with the Derek Carr injury. We'll find out. Hope you have a beautiful evening. Enjoy Vegas versus San Diego. Or no, Vegas versus LA, I guess it is now. Have a nice night. Best division in football.
Let's go. Like them on beat joints?
Yeah.
What up, cuz? What up?
That's a natural.